What if I told you that every part of your house was reflecting something back at you about your own life? I know it sounds a little out there, but stay with me because this changed how I approached organizing. And once you start seeing your home like this, you can't unsee it. It's not just about your belongings, it goes a little deeper. Maybe what you're holding on to, avoiding, and what you're ready to let go of. Our homes aren't just where we live, they are a map of who we are. I'm Elyse Metzger, and welcome to Tame the Chaos. Okay, when we think about organizing, we think about stuff, our things, systems, how our home runs. We think about maybe being organized as having a perfect pantry, maybe our shelves being lined perfectly with snacks, or having drawers that every item in the drawer has a home. It's like we think about separate spaces to organize. Like for our closet, for example, we think about decluttering our closet and maybe color coding our clothes, color coding our books, and just having a home for everything, all of our items, and having systems. But it goes a little deeper than that. We also may judge ourselves for not being organized enough without really thinking what's going on underneath. Like, why can't we organize this space? Why can't we keep it together? Why does this space feel so chaotic? We don't really think about the deeper meaning of why a space feels chaotic. We don't think about the attachment that we have to our things and the attachment of our expectations of how a space should function and what it should look like. We rarely think about why we have the attachment to the items that we hold on to that we can't let go of, or why no matter what we do, we just can't get a certain area of our home organized or functioning like we'd really like. It's like we think of our home as separate areas to organize. We have the kitchen, the garage, the closet, the hallway closet, we have the attic, we have the kids' rooms, the playrooms. It's basically like a checklist that we have to keep organized, and we judge ourselves if they're messy or they're not functioning quite right like we want them to. But we rarely look into the root of the cause. Like, why isn't this working? This would show up maybe if you keep organizing the pantry and the playroom or organizing your office and you just feel like it's not working and you get frustrated because you keep putting in these systems, implementing these systems, maybe in your office or your closet or your bathroom, wherever it may be. And you just feel like you keep cleaning it up, and it's not working for you. It's not a sustainable system. So a lot of times we don't think deeper than the actual items themselves. So, this episode, I'm going to explain to you how I look at homes and how I look at each individual space and how it relates to your life. I started noticing patterns after becoming an organizer, a professional organizer, and organizing for other people. I did not realize this when I was just organizing for myself. I never realized this. I noticed patterns with people, and all across the board, it's pretty similar. And I see it in almost every home I go into. Like, how someone couldn't let go of an old baking pan, or why a mom never felt organized in her own kitchen, even though she kept it pretty organized. It wasn't until after I started organizing for other people, I noticed this pattern with my own home. I started to think about how our home represents different parts of our lives. Just by walking through a person's home, I could get a sense of where they were at in their life, what they were feeling, and where their mental state was. Each room represents a part of us, what we're holding on to, what we hide, who we want to be, what we want to become, how we see ourselves, what we're not ready to face yet. Once I started seeing it this way, organizing became so much easier for me. It went deeper than bins and labels. I was able to get to the client's problem on a deeper level, meaning that their systems last longer and we really, really got to the root of the issue. So then we could fix it and organize for the life they were living. It became a tool for understanding ourselves and the spaces that we live in. I've come to these realizations and thoughts from both organizing for others, but also after thinking about it and being in other people's homes, seeing those patterns I noticed in my own home. And so now when I organize, I really have this analogy in mind. And this is how I came up with it is just through my own experience and experience from organizing other people and working in their spaces. This is my take on spaces in our homes and how they correlate with our lives and minds. I think of these spaces representing a certain part of our life. It's like peeling back an onion when we look at each part of the home, and it's uncovering why you don't feel like you have a handle on certain areas or parts of your home or particular items, something that's a challenge to you. In this episode, I'm going to go space by space of each area of your home and kind of explain my analogy and how it correlates to different parts of your life. And in the following episodes, I'm going to go a little bit deeper on some of these areas. So let's get into it. I think of each area of our home representing a different part of our life. It's like peeling back an onion and uncovering why you don't feel like you have a handle on a certain part of your home, a certain room, or particular items. Based on organizing for other people, being in their spaces, and organizing my own home. Let's start with the entryway. This is where you enter your home, which may be through the garage or the front door, a side door. However, you enter your home, this is like the threshold. This is where you leave the outside world behind you and enter your sanctuary. When I talk to people about their homes, a lot of times their pain points will be in the entryway. And this makes total sense to me because this is where you come in from the outside world and you enter your sanctuary. It can be really stressful when you come in, or it can be really calming. And this all depends on how your entryway is set up. For people who have children, sometimes it may not be the most organized just because when they get home, they like to take off their shoes, drop their backpacks, whatever they do. And if there's not a system in place, then it can feel really chaotic. For someone that does have a system for when they come home, an area that fits all of their shoes, stress-free, maybe hooks, something that they can hang up their jackets, hang up their bags. If they have an area to put everything, it feels great. You can come home and feel like, I came home, I can relax now, or I can feel at home. I'm not in the outside world. I don't have to be on anymore. So it can be really like one of two ways: stressful, chaotic, or really calming, soothing. These are really important points in your home because it sets the tone and it's your mental state. It really, really has an effect on your mental state. I think of the entryway as entering your sanctuary. This is the threshold. It's like the line. It's the line between your home, your personal space, and the outside world. This shows your daily habits and often pulls on your daily stress. It's where things pile up. Shoes can pile up. Maybe the dog, if you have an animal, the dog or cat comes to greet you. It's always the space where a lot is happening. It's a really important space because it sets the tone when you're leaving or entering your home. Then we have the garage. The garage is where I always say, this is where things go to die. And this is why. So, our garage is kind of like an extension of the house. For most people, it's an extension of the house. Other times, it can be, a hangout spot like a man cave or a teenager cave or a workout space, but it can still feel like an extension and not like an inside part of your home. And the reason why I say this is where things go to die is because if we decluttered our closet, our kitchen, whatever, and we have a bag of something to donate, then this is where we most likely will put all of the donations and they pile up there. Or this is where we put the bin we don't know what to do with. We'll just throw it in the garage because out of sight, out of mind, right? The garage is a transitioning area. So, a lot of times I will do this too. And I see a lot of clients do this and other people. I will put a bin in there that I'm not really sure what to do with. It's kind of like a holding space that we're not really quite sure if we want to get rid of. This is why I say that when you put something in the garage, it's like the dying place for these things because you're putting it in like a holding space and thinking about whether or not you really could do without it. And it usually gets forgotten in there. So, my professional organizing advice is if you put something in the garage and you're fine without it for maybe like 6 months at least, then it's time to get rid of it. The garage can also be a storage area. And I find a lot of people put their memorabilia in the garage. A lot of times, things from our past seasons of life end up in the garage. And this is where they stay until we face what we want to let go of. It's also like we're holding on to a certain part of our life that we don't want to let go of. So once you're ready to face it, maybe go in that garage and go through a box or look at an item and really be honest with yourself and see if you can get rid of that item. Next, we have the attic or the storage area, maybe a storage unit you have, but mostly the attic. All right, let's talk about this. So, the attic is where our very, very past lives live, or hand me downs. A lot of baby boomers, I would say, have china in their attic. Pass down things that we obviously don't use that much because it's not that easy to get into the attic. Some people have storage stuff in the attic and also holiday stuff in the attic, things that we don't really need on a daily basis, obviously. A lot of times in the attic, I see things that we just can't let go of. A lot of times it's stuff from college or high school. Those pieces of ourselves that we don't want to let go of, that we maybe might forget memories of, and so we want to keep them. Well, it's kind of like since the garage is an extension of the house, the attic is an extension of the garage. Like, okay, I have this box of my college stuff, even hand me downs from previous generations. We just don't want that in our garage because we know that we don't need it, but we just don't have the heart to get rid of it. And so we stick it up in the attic where we know that we have it, but we just don't know what to do with it. We don't want to let go of it. We're not ready to let go of it. And so we stick it in the attic. So this is like it's like a deep part of ourselves, but it also can have a lot of different meanings. I personally don't love attics because people can put a lot of stuff up there and they forget about it. I've heard stories of people fully moving out and forgetting to take things out of their attic. And I actually have had clients that found artwork in their attic. And when they're moving out, they're like, oh, this wasn't mine. This was from the previous owner. I've seen this more than a handful of times. And it's kind of amazing because I don't know, it's just weird to think that you would just move out and forget things. Second most favorite part of the house, and it is the kitchen. It is the heart of the home. The kitchen is one of the busier areas. I call it the high turnover area because it is always busy. Well, I should take that back. It's not always busy. Depending certain parts of the day, it's busy. Usually breakfast time, dinner time, maybe lunchtime, or maybe all day. So I love the kitchen. This is the core of the home. Usually in the way that homes are set up, the kitchen is somewhere in the front of the home, in the middle of the home. This is where our family gathers. This is where we share meals, we share cooking experiences, we sit at the countertop and have conversations. This is where we share stories. This is where we talk. This is where the family connects. And it's also very busy. This is where we share connection with our family before we get on with our day or after we get home from the day and meet for dinner. It's where the family comes together, or it could be where the family falls apart. It's the most interaction that you have with your family or your roommates, even visitors. Like when somebody comes to stop by just to pick up something or say hello, we're usually in the kitchen. Like we'll be standing or sitting at the countertop. We'll have conversations and we'll connect. It's just a happy area. It's where a lot of connection and interaction with others happen. Within the kitchen, we have the refrigerator and the pantry. And these, talk about high turnover, these are the most constantly changing spaces in our home. If you think about it, obviously in the refrigerator, things spoil. They don't last forever in the refrigerator. Things spoil in the pantry. It's like we're always having these are the high turnovers. These are the high turnover areas because you're always having to clean out the food. You're always having to restock the food. Obviously, we need to eat, right? This also can reflect your current state. Like if the pantry, do you ever come home and you look inside of your refrigerator and you're like, oh my gosh, we have to go shopping. We have like no food. Or for me personally, after I go shopping and I fill up the refrigerator and it's full of like veggies and food ingredients for cooking for that week or all of the lunch stuff that I buy my son. I feel full. Like if my refrigerator's full, I feel full of good full. So anyway, the space that's like the biggest turnover and we're constantly having to restock and clean out. So I will sometimes say, don't even try to organize your refrigerator. Just have like zones to where you know what you're putting. Like the milk has a spot or snacks have a spot or I have a spot for like leftovers, the cheese, obviously. I would just throw it in that zone and call it a day because it's not worth like micro organizing your refrigerator. It's just not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not sustainable, not maintainable. Just don't even try to like micro organize your refrigerator. So, anyway, in our pantry and refrigerator, it can really show the seasons. In the summer, I'm always eating smoothies, eating fruit, veggies, all of the stuff that's really in season. And then wintertime, I'm eating more like comfort foods, like quinoa rice, pasta, things that are more comforting. And this reflects in your pantry too. It's like whatever food you have in your house can show the season. Oh, I do want to mention too, you can really see who is contributing to being organized in your house when you look at the pantry and fridge, because obviously everyone in the house needs to eat. This is where we keep the food. So a lot of times, I don't want to wrap my husband out, but a lot of times he will just put something back wherever there's like a clear space. Even if he like pulls it out from somewhere, he'll put it like somewhere else and it's not where it goes. And so this you can really see just because everybody eats, you can see if they put it back in the right spot. And I have a lot of clients tell me this too, and I've personally seen it in other homes where you can tell like whoever it may be in the home and they just put it back wherever and don't contribute to the system. But that's okay. But you can really see it there. So in our pantry and fridge, we can see the seasons. We can see our warm weather, light food, and then we can see our cold weather, comfort food. And also, what we put into our bodies has a direct effect on our health. So, if you look in your pantry and fridge and look at what you have in there, and you can ask yourself, am I feeding myself with nutrition, or is it the opposite, or is it in the middle? So, if you open your fridge, whatever is looking back at you is how you're treating yourself and what you are putting into your body. Going deeper into what we fill our pantry and fridge with, coming from a marketing background, I always have it in my head that people aren't going to buy like an ugly shirt. They're going to buy what looks good. And the same thing goes for what you're going to eat. If it doesn't look good, then you're not going to eat it. So, in my mind, I like to have fun with organizing like the pantry or the fridge. Like I mentioned a minute ago about the zones in the fridge, I have these cute little canisters for carrots and any veggies that I cut up, and it makes it look more attractive. So I want to eat it. So I can pull it out of the fridge easily. It's in this cute little canister. And I also do that with my pantry ingredients like nuts and granola toppings, sometimes smoothie toppings. I put them in these little canisters, and it's things that we eat on a regular basis. So it's easier to maintain. So that's an idea for you to have fun with the spaces, even though it's higher turnover. I mean, we want to obviously eat nutritious things, put nutritious things into our body. So my advice would be to have fun with it, create zones so it doesn't become too overwhelming to maintain. Like just have a shelf and say, okay, these are all like the snacks, and put like little containers, fill them with like good snacks. That is something that's really helped me stay organized in the pantry and fridge, is just having cute little canisters. It's easier to eat and it's more attractive. I want to eat it because it looks pretty. Next, we have the living room, or family room, as you might call it. But I consider this an extension of the kitchen. It's another place where the family can come together or you can relax, but it's usually a gathering space where you share connection, you share entertainment. You may watch the TV, play games, talk to each other. It's where we can also relax and disconnect from the world and kind of let go a little bit. Well, at least try to relax. And this is also where we might hang out with the guests that come over, and we connect with our own family, roommates. You may watch TV together. It's basically where one of the places that we can relax and let go for a little bit. Kind of for me, as an example, I like to use the living room. I like to watch TV and kind of zone out. It's where I can relax a little bit and talk to my husband or cuddle with my son on the couch. It's just basically an extension of the kitchen, another place to connect and gather with your roommates, family members, or guests, visitors. It's another place to connect. And then we have the bedroom. So, another relaxation place. It's where we can really be ourselves. It's our bedroom, which is normally a somewhat private part of our lives. We don't invite everyone into our bedroom. It can reflect a part of our lives that not everyone knows about. It may be where you journal, you read, where you relax, where you get dressed. It's a private part of our lives, and it's usually quiet in there. Well, if you don't have a TV, if you're not watching TV or listening to something else, but it's usually where we lay down our heads at night and think about our overview of our day. And then it's where we wake up and set our intentions for the day. It's a very intentional, quiet space far from the outside world. This is where we truly feel what we feel. It's our bedroom. It's like our quiet space. It's a chance to reflect on the day that we had, and when we wake up, the day that we will have, and set intention. It's another like relaxation space for us, and a quiet space that we can really get into our heads and really reflect our true feelings and selves. This goes into the bathroom. Not a super exciting space, but it is very intentional. Obviously, this is a hygiene area where we take care of ourselves, and it can kind of weirdly connect to the fridge and the pantry, because it's another area that is self-care. This is where we wash our face, we put our facial products on, we take showers. It's like a very hygiene, self-care oriented area. And sometimes, if this isn't organized or we don't really set intentions about our habits in these areas, then we, over time, it can really make a difference and show if we're not taking care of ourselves. So, when I think about the bathroom and what we do in the bathroom, the items that we have in the bathroom, it all revolves around self care. And it's about taking the time and being organized and together in this area so we can take care of ourselves. Like, if we just have everything like in the bathroom and we forget about it, or if it's not organized to where we won't use it, then what's the point? Like, what's the point to have anything? If we feel rushed, if we're not organized, then those habits kind of get neglected, and over time you can definitely see it. And the last space we have is the closet. This is my favorite area of the home. I just love the closet. It might be because my first degree and jobs were in fashion merchandising. So I just love closets. I love setting up clothes, organizing accessories, but I just love the closet. So the closet is our most secret part about ourselves, especially as women. We hold on to clothing items, accessories, things that brought us to things that associate us with our past selves. A lot of times when I'm in women's closets, things that they hold on to usually tend to be like a piece of clothing that they used to wear that bring happy memories for them, or significant events. These are items that just they can't let go. They kind of keep as memorabilia, and maybe that they hope to wear someday, or items that they hope to fit into someday. It's really easy to fall into this trap. But anyway, going back to like what the closet represents, it represents a secret part of ourselves. It shows our desires and our insecurities. It's how we see ourselves and how we want others to see us. It's how we express ourselves. One of the easiest ways to express ourselves is through clothing. I mean, we have to wear clothes. I would hope so. We have to wear clothes. I would hope to wear that everyone wears clothes on a daily basis, but this is how we express ourselves. We can choose what we wear. It really shows ourselves. It's showing our true colors and how we want others to see us. And like I mentioned, the items that we hold on to, it's outfits that represent a certain time in our life. Even if we don't wear them, we'll sometimes keep them for that reason. Also, clothes can represent our aspirations, what we hope to become. And maybe if we're saving that outfit for when we lose that 10 pounds, it basically represents the memories that you're holding on to. And our closet really represents more than we think. What we hold on to is what we're holding on to in life. Like that outfit that you wore to prom, or that outfit you wore on your first date with your husband. It really represents those memories rather than the actual clothing piece itself. It's like a visual reminder. Anyway, the closet is just so fun, and I'll go more into this in future episodes. Moving on, we also have hallway closets, guest rooms, the laundry room, all of those little areas of our homes. But to me, those represent the mundane parts of our lives. Like, for example, the laundry room. Oh my goodness, the laundry room, it's where the laundry room monster lives. And it just reminds us of all of those necessary chores that we have to do every week, every day, whenever. So those aren't that much fun. It just reminds us of all the all of our chores we have to do around the house. But anyway, these are all of the spaces, how I think about the spaces. Some of these spaces may mean different things to you, but I hope that it correlates somehow. Some of these spaces may not match up to your home the way that I described them, but I hope that you do get something out of it and you can correlate some things of what I said with the areas of your home. This isn't about judging yourself for a messy garage or a chaotic closet. It's more about getting curious about the spaces in your home and linking them to different parts of your life. When you can understand why a space feels the way it does, you can finally get to the root of the issue and actually do something about it. It's not just moving around stuff, but actually shifting something inside of you, what you feel, and making your life better by making your space better. So, a reflection question for you is, as I went through these spaces, which one resonated with you? Did you feel something when I mentioned the garage, or did you feel anything like tension or, oof, I'm calling you out when I mentioned the kitchen or the pantry? It's just something to get you curious and think about your own home and what you feel in those spaces. In the next few episodes, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into some of these spaces, mostly the ones that have an impact on us on a daily basis. It's going to be really fun and really helpful. Hopefully, I can give a little bit of practical tips, but mostly it's going to be about how it's reflecting about where you're in life right now. I can't wait to talk about it and record these next few episodes and dive deeper into each space. But in the meantime, my information is in the show notes, and I would love to hear from you if you have any topic ideas, specific questions, or feedback for me. I would love to hear your thoughts. Be sure to hit follow so you don't miss out on the next few episodes. See you soon.